Okay, so hi everyone. I'm here to, I'm going to talk about homework number 3, question 4, as I know that many of you have had a lot of questions about this. A couple of you have reached out directly to me to, and I've helped you specifically through this question, but there are a lot of you out there that haven't had a chance to reach out to me, and so I wanted to kind of show you specifically how to solve this problem. Okay, so the first question is estimate how much of the 243,000. Oh, and I should preface that obviously our numbers are going to be completely different. The software changes the numbers for everybody, and so even though my numbers will be different than yours, the concepts and how to plan it are going to be exactly, or how to solve it are going to be exactly the same. Okay, so the first question is estimate how much of the $243,900 of overhead costs in June was maintenance cost. And it gives you a hint. It says maybe helpful to first determine how much of the 243,900 consisted of utilities and supervisory salaries. Think about the behavior of variable and fixed costs within the relevant range. Okay, so here, since you already have a breakdown at 36,000 hours, you can utilize this information to determine how much of the $243,900 is related to maintenance. So first, let's calculate what the variable rate for utilities is, and you can do that by dividing, and actually these aren't numbers since I copied it from the problem, but you first want to divide 54,000 by the number of hours, 36,000, and that gives you a utility variable rate of $1.50. These are fixed costs, and the maintenance costs are what you're trying to find. So at $243,900, that amounts to 66,000 hours. So, since we now know what our rate is per hour for utilities, right, because that's a variable cost, and that is an expense that will be incurred for every hour, or at the same rate for every hour that the machine is on, you can use this rate, this $1.50 rate per machine hour, to calculate how much utilities expense you would have at the 66,000 hour level. So if you just multiply the $1.50 rate times the 66,000 hours, you get $99,000. Okay, your fixed costs are going to stay exactly the same because they're fixed. By definition, they don't go up or go down based on the number of hours that are incurred, or the machine hours are based on the number of hours that the machine is on. Okay, and the maintenance cost is what we're trying to find. So basically, you can take it 243,900 is your total cost. Okay, and you know 2 out of the 3 costs. So this is now a simple equation of your total costs minus utilities costs minus your maintenance, minus your supervisor salary costs, to get a maintenance cost of $88,900. And as you can see, that is the correct answer. So I'll go ahead and highlight this. Okay, so that's how you find the answer to question number, or part number 1 of question 4. The next question is, using the high-low method, estimate a cost formula for maintenance. Okay, so we're just looking at maintenance. In the high-low method, you want to take the cost related to the month that has the lowest machine hours and the cost related to the month that has the highest machine hours, which we have both of these pieces of information. You want to take the maintenance cost, subtract the 2, and then divide it by the difference between the machine hours of the 2 months. So we know that our maintenance cost here is $88,900 for the highest month, which is 66,000 hours, And our maintenance cost for the lowest month, which is 36,000 hours, is 54,400. So if we subtract 88,900, or excuse me, subtract 54,400 from the 88,900, that gives you a difference of $34,500. You're now going to divide that by the difference between the machine hours in June, which is 66,000, and the April hours, which is 36,000, which is a difference of 30,000 hours. And that gives you a rate of $1.15. That is your variable rate. Okay, so now we know the variable portion of the maintenance cost because it's the difference in cost divided by the difference in hours. That's the high-low method. So now that we have this rate, now we can figure out what our fixed amount is by using either level, either the highest level or the lowest level. It doesn't really matter, because now we're going to use $1.15, and we'll go ahead and use the June amount, since this is the number that we've been using all along, times it by the 66,000 hours. That gives us a variable portion of $75,900. Okay, we know that total maintenance cost is $88,900. So now we subtract the total maintenance cost, or take the variable portion and subtract the total maintenance cost. That gives us a fixed cost of $13,000. So this is our variable portion. This is our fixed portion related to maintenance. So you can see here that we now have an equation in part number 2 of y being our total maintenance cost and our fixed portion being $13,000 plus 1.15, which is our variable rate for the variable portion of the maintenance cost. Okay, so now the third part asks us to express the total overhead cost in the same form as before. It's the same form as part 2. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do the high-low method, take the high total cost, which is $243,900, subtract the total overhead cost of the low level, $164,400. That gives us a difference of $79,500. Okay. Again, subtract or divide this by the 30,000 hour difference between the two levels, and that gives you a variable portion of $2.65. So now, again, let's pick either level, either 66,000 or 36,000. Okay, we'll choose 66,000. That gives us a total variable portion of $174,900. Subtract that from $243,900, and we'll get a fixed portion of $69,000. So here you can see that our equation now is our y, which is equal to our total overhead cost, is now equal to a fixed portion of $69,000 plus $2.65 per machine hour. Okay, so then finally, now that we have our two equations, it's now in part number 4. It's asking us what's our total overhead cost that you would expect to be incurred at an activity level of 41,000 machine hours. So now we just plug in 41,000 into our equation. So we get $69,000 plus $2.65 times 41,000 hours. Okay, that leaves us with, or that calculates to a total of $177,650 for our total overhead cost. And there we have the right answer. So as you can see, this isn't meant to necessarily be tricky. If you just use some basic principles from algebra, and basic understanding of the high-low methodology, you can get down to the different components by eliminating the ones that you know and solving for the ones that you don't know. So hopefully this was helpful, And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out. You can email me, text me, or call me anytime. All right, thank you.